Hi, boys and girls. We're on lesson 14.4, Picture Graphs. Lesson 14.4 starts on page 821. So you're going to need that page. So let's start with our solve and share.
This graph shows the favorite subjects for a class. How can you use this graph to write the data in the table? Tell how you know.
Okay, so what are they asking us to do? Well, they want us to use the graph to write the same data in the table. And what do you already know that can help you solve the problem? Well, we can get the data by looking at the pictures in the graph. So let's do that. Let's look at the pictures in the graph. Oh, this is happy pictures today. We have smiley faces. So, what does each smiley face represent? So let's look. We have favorite school subjects. And here at the top, this is the title of our graph. And then on the bottom, we have number of students. And each of these represents one student. So we have reading, math, science, and social studies. And so if we count each of these smileys, it can tell us how many students like reading, math, science, and social studies. And then we can take these in this graph and we could put them here. So let's do that. So I can see that there are 4 students in reading. I'm going to put a 4. So I'm going to move that there. Okay. And then, how many do we need for math? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people like math. Okay. How many like science? 3. So we can put a 3. Nope, I keep doing that. Hasn't worked yet. Probably won't. And 1 like social studies. Okay. So there we have it. Now, here's what we have found out. So now we can see, we can visually see that the favorite subject is what, boys and girls? Math. We can see what the least favorite subject is social studies. Oh, I don't like that business because obviously I teach social studies and I've always loved social studies. Is the data the same from the top graph to the bottom table? Yes, it is. It's just represented in 2 different ways. Now, we use data right now from a picture graph to complete a table. Later in this lesson, you will learn how to make a picture graph using data from a tally chart. You will also use picture graphs to solve problems. So picture graphs are fun. I think you're going to enjoy them. So let's get busy, boys and girls. Let's go to our next video, our visual learning video.
How can you show data in a picture graph? Let's find out. The tally chart shows the favorite ball games of Ms. Green's class. You can show the same data in another way. Choose a symbol to represent the data. The symbol will be a stick figure. Each symbol represents one student. A picture graph uses pictures to show data. You can draw the symbols to show the data.
Okay, So here we have, this is going to be our picture graph right here. And we're going to draw symbols to show the data. Here is our symbol. It's a little stick figure. And each of the stick figure equals one student. And it's important that we know that. So it says drag symbols into the picture graph so that it represents the data in the tally chart. So each of these equals one student. So I think what I'm doing is I think I'm going like that. Oh, here they are, right here. So we have 2 who like baseball. So how many students am I going to pull? I'm going to pull 2. Now here, there's 8 students who like soccer. That's 5 plus 3 is 8. 8. So I'm going to pull 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then tennis, it's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of these equals one student, so I need 4. 1. Oh, I like them to be a little neater. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 of these stick figures, 1 for each student. And so that is my tally chart. It's always important to see how many the symbols stand for. There we go. Looks good.
Look at the picture graph.
8 students chose soccer.
How many students chose tennis as their favorite sport? 4 students chose tennis. How do you know?
How did we know that? Well, we looked in the tally chart and there were 4 tally marks in tennis. So we used one stick figure for each tally mark.
There are 4 stick figures in the graph, and each stick figure represents one student. How would you read the graph differently if each stick figure represented 2 students?
Okay, so how many students would like tennis if each stick figure represented 2 students? Then what? How many students would like tennis then? Then we would have to count by 2s. So let's count by 2s. It would be 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so 8 students would like tennis. 2, 4, 6, 8. How many students would like soccer? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 16 students would like soccer. And how many would like baseball? 2, 4. 4 students would like baseball. That is why it is always extremely important to check to see how many or what the symbol stands for. If the symbol stands for 1 or 2, or sometimes it might stand for 5 or even 10, you don't know until you look to see what the symbol stands for.
4 students chose baseball, 16 students chose soccer, and 8 students chose tennis. Why is a picture graph a good way to display data? The pictures are easy to see and count. How can you check if the correct number of symbols were drawn for each game? You can compare the number of symbols to the number of tallies for each game. They should be equal. Now you know how to show data in a picture graph.
And so remember, boys and girls, it is always extremely important to check to see what the symbol. You have to check to see what the symbol stands for. Does the symbol stand for one student, or when they changed it, it stood for two students? So you always have to double check that so you don't make any mistakes. Now we're going to go to our student book and we're going to practice. Remember, you can always check your work on top to see if you're doing it correctly. This gives us a little guide and goes over the video. So let's look at our guided practice. We're on page 822. And it says, use the tally chart to complete the picture graph. Then use the picture graph to solve the problems. So we're going to be completing the picture graph using the tally chart. And then we're going to be using the picture graph to answer the questions. Now here's what we're going to be drawing. We're going to be drawing pencils. Now they don't have to be elaborate pencils because this is an art class today. So each pencil equals 1 vote. So we have favorite colors, blue, red, and purple. And so we have how many votes for blue? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we drew 5 blue pencils. Now we have to draw how many red pencils? We have to draw 6 red pencils. So I want you to draw 6 red pencils. So here's pencil 1, pencil 2, pencil 3, pencil 4, pencil 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pencil 6, okay? Pencil 6. Then I'm going to go to purple, and I have 3 pencils that I'm going to draw for 3 votes, because that's my symbol. So I'm going to draw 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. So there we go. And you can certainly trace over these. Trace over them. Okay. And then when I'm done here, I'll give you a little bit of time to trace over them, or to finish your drawing, to trace and finish your drawing. Okay? So go ahead, finish doing that. Okay, does everybody have that? Remember, our pencils, we look at our symbol. Our symbol, each pencil stands for 1 vote in the favorite colors. Now, remember we're going to be looking at our picture graph. I keep wanting to call it a pictograph because that's what we used to call them. A picture graph. How many students like blue best? So we go over here, we look at blue, we count our pencils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So trace over the 5. Which color is the favorite of most students? So we look where we have the most pencils. And we have the most pencils here in red. So let's put red, write the word red. Okay? Now, let's look here in the do you understand? And this is referring to the top there. It says, how are the tally chart, here's the tally chart, and the picture graph for the favorite ball games of Miss Green's class alike? Well, how are they alike? What do you think? If you said they show the same data, you are correct. So let's write that. They show the same data. Okay? We're going to put that right there. They show the same data. So let's put that. I'm going to move that up in case you didn't get those other things down on your paper. And you will have a minute or so to do that. And then we're going to check to see what else you have to do today. Okay, now let's look at our independent practice. You're going to have to use this tally chart to make a picture chart. Look to see what you have to draw. This is what you have to draw as a person, a stick person. Okay? Then for problem solving, I think you get to draw, you get to make a tree and make sure you're tracing over your labels and your title. Okay. Oh, and here you get to draw a picture graph and you have to make the title. And here you're drawing cups. And then you'll have to do your homework. Don't forget, you're also having to practice extra math and your prodigy. So all those things are important because we really have to keep up with our math facts. I'm hoping that most of you will get through subtraction and on to multiplication. That'd be so exciting. So exciting because you guys are so smart. Okay, boys and girls, until tomorrow. Bye.